Welcome all. Good evening. Hi students. So we will start our session. That is for the next 5 days we will be learning Tally. So I just put Tally training, but actually the current software name is Tally Prime. So we are going to learn Tally Prime in the next 5 days. That hours is 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So we will be having the same link. So let me introduce myself. My name is Manoj. So I'm the CEO and founder of Roswin Solutions. So Roswin Solution is the Tally authorized partner and also the training institute. With the association of Rotary, we are giving this training to you. So next 5 days, I'll be your trainer. So this is short about me. And we are the 5-star partner for Tally. 5-star in the sense we are the authorized and we have some categorization, classification. In that we are the topmost partner, and we also the authorized partner for Tally Learning. Tally have a separate institute of learning centers, and we are having one of the learning centers in Chennai. Association with Rotary, we are giving this training to you. And this is just about my company. And what do? We sell software, we support software, and we customize Tally as per the user's requirement, and we do corporate training and student training. So that's all about us. Now let's get into what is Tally and its part. Okay, so before we get into Tally Prime, so let's see that why we have to learn Tally Prime, and what is Tally Prime, and what is the importance of having an accounting software. So first of all, you let me know who needs an accounting software. Who needs an accounting software? Can you just share it in the chat box? Who needs an accounting software? Let's make this session more interactive. Who needs an accounting software? I presume that accounting, you all know a little bit of accounting. So accounting is recording, summarizing, posting the money transaction value in any business or any entity. Yeah, business needs a accounting software. Okay, what else? Only the business companies need accounting software. Who else? So I will say like this. So wherever there is a financial transaction which requires a recording and organized manner, then those guys or those entities require accounting software. It is a compulsion or it is a mandatory, then we need to make a accounting software. See, for example, you are lending 5 rupees, 10 rupees to your friend, or you are gifting something. There also the financial transactions involved. But do you require accounting software? No. But when it comes to a company, when it's go to college or a hospital or an institute, even for government, we need to have it, because unless and unless if you don't require maintain accounting, you will not have the information in a structured, organized manner. Am I right? Correct. Why we have to maintain those things? Because there are accountability is there. That is, they need to answer to the government, they need to answer to the authority, they need to answer to the owners. So in those situations, accounting software is required. In fact, for individuals also they will maintain accounting software. See, for example, an individual who is earning a salary, who is having a rental income, who is investing in various shares, who is also spending. So those people also require accounting software, because he cannot maintain it in a simple Excel or a note format, because we will not know the information in an organized way. Am I right? Any sum that has a transaction needs an accounting software. Very good. Yeah, so now we come to know that wherever there is a transaction of money or money equivalent values, we need to have a accounting software. Fine. Let's take the entire business or environment or industry, and we'll see that how it is got categorized. So broadly, it is categorized into 3 areas. Broadly, the businesses are categorized into Three areas. Okay, so one is the manufacturing. What do you mean by manufacturing? Manufacturing is someone who produces goods or manufactures the goods. So they are called manufacturers. Who is a trader? The other kind of a business segment is trading, which means they buy product from a vendor or a supplier, then they sell it to the customer or another vendor. Am I right? So this is called as a trading. The other one is the service industry. What is the service industry? They do a services. They don't exchange a product. They don't create it, but they do a services. Example for service industry, as you see in the image, your doctor doing consultation. Is he giving any medicine? The pharmacist is giving a medicine, but doctor is just prescribing it. He's just telling that this is medicine to be bought. So this is the service industry. Can you just tell me any other example for service industry? You put it in the chat. Example for service industry. Banking, yeah, banking is at a service industry. Stands for brilliant, Shruti. Service industry, saloon is a service industry, gym is a service industry. Can you give me an example for manufacturing? Manufacturing. Royal Enfield, very good. Deva Rajavelu, good. Royal Enfield is a motorbike manufacturer. He manufactures bikes. Please note that all manufacturers are traders. Am I right? They just manufacture, they don't keep it with themselves. What do? They will sell it to the dealer, they sell it to the end user. Britannia biscuit, bike, car, these are all manufacturers. Give me an example for trader. Steel industries, very good. Example for trading. Example for trading. What is trading? Buying a product and selling a product. Buying a product at lower price and putting the margin and selling it to the direct client or to the vendor. Am I right? Give me an example. Give me one shop which is involved in a trading activity. Shop name. Sarana stores. Pothys. Vasant & Co. So or otherwise if you take a big pan-India market, Reliance Digital, Reliance Fresh, they are all traders. What do? They buy products from the supplier or the middleman. They store it and they will sell it. Correct. Reliance. Shruti, it's brilliant. Reliance. So all the businesses will come under three. Agriculture is also a kind of what? Agriculture is also what? Is it a service or trading or manufacturing? Agriculture is a trading or manufacturing or service. Manufacturing, they are manufacturing, they are bringing up the crops, they are bringing up the paddies, correct? They produce, they are the producers, okay? Please note that all manufacturers are traders. Primary sector, all manufacturers are traders. Why I put it agriculture as a separate thing? Because that comprises of the vast majority of the manufacturing in India, correct? Agriculture. So please note that all manufacturers are traders. They manufacture not for their own consumption, they will sell their product and they make money out of it, correct? So if you take any business, it will come under this, okay? And please note that not only the business, even non-business entities also will come under this category. Can you just name a non-entity business, which means they are not a business? What is business? Example for business. What is business? Business is a set of activity to make profit. You know what is profit, no? I'll give you a simple example. I buy a pen for 10 rupees and I am selling it for 15 rupees. How much is my profit? 5 rupees. So I am doing this activity to make profit, correct? All the businesses are here to make profit. Okay, what are the other entities? What are the other institutions or what are the other organization which is not for profit? Can you just give me an example? I'm just putting it in perspective. I'll come to Tally. I'm just putting it in perspective. Why we need to have accounting software and what are all the segments are available? Fine. Can you just give me an example for non-business entity? That we call it as a NGO, non-governmental organization or charity organization or government institutions. So for an example, government hospital, is it a business entity or a non-profitable entity? NGO, well said, Shruti. It is a NGO. It is not non-government organization, but it is a government organization, but it is not for profit. Not for profit organization. Fine. Okay. Now we have understood businesses that also needs an accounting software. Non-profit organization that also need accounting software. Why? Because money is involved. Transaction is there. The government buys medicine from the pharmaceutical company and they gave it free to the what? Free to the patients. Like that, they buy books, they give it to the school students at free of cost. They will get the money from the taxpayers thing. That's a different story. But the money is involved. And there also they need to maintain an accounting. Why? They need to know how much is spent, how much is received, how much is required, everything they need to know. So which means what? Whether it is a business or for a non-profit organization and whatever be the institution or organization, they need an accounting software. Okay. They need to have an accounting software. Okay. They cannot just say that this is spent, that is gone. They need to prove the records and all. Good to go? Fine. So what you have understood, whether it's a business or a non-profit, they need to have an accounting software. Fine. We understood that it is to capture the transaction of money or money equivalent transactions. I'll come to that point, money equivalent transaction, what it is later part. But now I understood that accounting is required. This accounting is required for whom? To whom? To which person the accounting is required? It depends on the entity the accounting is required for a different person. See, for example, in a family, normally what moms keeps the expenses. Mom keeps the tab of the income and expenses. What is the income and expenses for the family? Salaries or incomes. Expenditures, the provision, rental, TV, petrol charges, these are all expenses. Mom keep up that is mother, most of the families, mother keep up the expenses. Okay. Why mother is keeping up the expenses? To whom she is keeping up? Noting the expenses. Mother is keeping the expenses to say to dad, father, to little father, to share information with the son or grandparents. Okay. But they don't require accounting software, that's a different thing. But they maintain for some purpose. Am I right? Fine. So in this case, for the business or for the non-profit business, the account is required for these are the people. The very first people is the government. Government mandated, government insists the businesses and non-profit organization to maintain accounts. It is a mandatory. Mandatory means it is a must. They have to keep up the account. Because then only they will know that have they paid taxes correctly, income tax or GST, indirect tax, and both direct tax and indirect tax. There is no fraudulent in that. There is no siphon of the money. They are properly using the fund. The government need to know it. Okay. The next one is what? Owner and investors. Who is the owner and investor? Owner who puts the capital, who runs it. Who is an investor? He will not run it, but he will just invest the money in the business. The company need to give the accounting information to the investor because he has invested the money. Then he has the privilege and he needs to know the information. For that purpose, accounting is maintained. Okay. The next one is a supplier and customer. Why supplier and customer need to know? You tell me. See, for example, for Sarana store, Samsung company is providing mobile phones to Sarana Store. Sarana Store is sending it to them. Okay. Samsung will keep on sending the mobile phone and Sarana Store will make the payment at bulk or in a part. Okay. When Sarana Stores suddenly is asking the payment, say your outstanding is, sorry, Samsung is saying that your outstanding is 50 lakhs. Okay. How Sarana Store will prove it? No, your outstanding is not 50 lakhs, it's only 45 lakhs. I'm giving you just an example. How he will prove it? He has to maintain a accounting. Then only he can say that, no, this is the right outstanding amount. I have maintained it. See my statement. You get the point? See my statement. See my accounting statement. Good to go? The same way it is for a customer. For the sake of customer, for the sake of supplier, you need to maintain or the company need to maintain a accounting software. Okay. The next stakeholder. Who is a stakeholder? Who is a stakeholder means who is interested in your company. The next stakeholder is the management. Management is not a owner. Okay, the owner we have seen it. The management is, for example, your marketing executive, your production executive, a production manager, or a COO, Chief Operating Officer, or any key person or anyone who is interested in accounts, they need to know the accounting information. For which purpose? To take a management decision. Okay. See, for example, I'm buying a product for 5 rupees. Okay. For example, electronic vendor, electronic company is selling a power bank. Okay. The power bank cost is 1,500 rupees. Fine. The purchase manager need to know that to whom this power bank is purchased and for which prices. Why he need to know? Then only he will know it whether he is purchasing at the lowest price. Otherwise, he will not know. So he need to know this information. So like that, the sales manager need to know what is the sales figure, how much sales has happened for the particular period, so that he can plan for the coming season. I'm just giving small examples. In many areas, they need to know the accounting figure. I'm just giving a small example. Okay, the sales manager need to know the accounting figures to plan, to plan his marketing expenses, to give his offers. So for the example, for that purpose, he need to know that. So we have understood that now management also requires the accounting information. Then you may ask, sir, why bank has to know it? Why bank has to know it? Somebody can give me an example? What is your company is doing? What is their sales? What is their total, balance sheet and profit and loss? Why bank needs to know it? Can somebody give me an example? Because where does the business get some money from for their working capital purpose? They get it from the bank. So I said that bank includes the financial institution also. So for that purpose, the bank also need to know it. So then only they will say that you are eligible for the bank, eligible for the loan. So the companies will give a statement to the bank saying that, sir, I'm doing this much of sales. I need further amount for the capital. Can you give it for the expansion purpose? For that purpose, we will submit. The company submits the accounting statements. So the bank will evaluate that if they are eligible for that, they will give it. Okay. So the point we have to make is who is the stakeholders of the company who is interested in their accounting process. So first one is the bankers and owners and investors, bank, government, supplier, customer, and management. There are other people also interested, but that will come later. That's not very much important also. So now we understood that the purpose of accounting and who is interested in knowing the accounting information. Good to go? Can I just say that? Good. So we will move on to the next topic. Can you just put it in your chat box? Yeah. See, before that, I want everyone put your roll number in the chat box. So it's for the attendance purpose. Whoever is attending the session, I request you to put your roll number in the chat box. It will take 2-3 minutes. I want everyone to put your roll number in the chat box. Gayatri Karthik, thanks for your feedback. You put your roll number in the chat box. I'll just wait for the 30 seconds. Then we will move on to next topic. Fine. So now we have understood that the purpose of accounting software and who are all interested in knowing the accounting software figures. Okay. Now we will come to know that we'll come to the part that we'll select one accounting software which is Tally Prime. We are going to see that. Before that, I just want to know what are the accounting software you are familiar with or available. What are the accounting software? Can you just put it in the chat box? What are all the accounting softwares? What are all the accounting software you know or you heard of? Tally, SAP, Study Correct, Tally, SAP. SAP is a vast ERP software. Anything else? So there are plenty of accounting softwares available. There are plenty of accounting software available. Okay. Zoho is an accounting software. Vyapar, Zoho Books, Vyapar, Excel. Excel you can maintain accounts, but it's not an accounting software. You can maintain accounts in Excel, but it's not accounting software. Zoho, QuickBooks. QuickBooks is one of the famous software in the US. Wings, Profit, Busy, Marg, Sage. If you Google it, you will get some 100, 120 or more than 100 softwares available. There are plenty of many softwares available. Okay. Now you know that there are plenty of software available. Then why we need to study Tally? Why we need to study Tally? So this is a very important questions. Okay. So Tally is the most popular and widely used accounting software in India. In India, Tally has a 25 lakh Tally licenses are available. 25 lakhs. So maybe it is maybe next to operating system and MS Office and virus antivirus software. Tally is the most widely used software. So this is one of the reasons that we are studying Tally. So it is the most popular. Okay. And like the Tally is mainly used for SME segment. What do you mean by SME? Small, or otherwise we can call it as MSME. Micro, small, medium enterprises. Okay. So mainly it's used in micro, small, medium enterprises. For a very large organization, they use a different kind of software. So mostly SAP is used. So when it comes to small, medium companies, Tally is used. And please note that more than 95% of the companies in India are small and medium businesses, and they are the most job providing segment. Large companies are very limited, but they use a different kind of software. They use Microsoft Navision, SAP, Oracle kind of software they use it. So how do I categorize as a big company and small company? Maybe in terms of number of users, number of transactions, number of employees are involved. And please note that even in a large company, Tally is used. You might ask, they will not use for an operational purpose, but they will use for a final accounting purpose. They use Tally. So one of my known companies, they're a car manufacturer. They are my clients and they use Tally. The point I'm trying to drive is even in a large companies, Tally is used, not as an operational purpose or at the core accounting purpose. What do you mean by operational purpose? I'll give an example. If you I'll just give you just for an example. If you go to Reliance Fresh is a supermarket for vegetable fruits, correct? So you might have noticed a billing software. So they will use some touchscreen software. The data, the bills are generated in that. But the software is not Tally. But to consolidate all the information, they might use Tally software, which means that to summarize the information, they might put it in Tally. So this is what I'm saying that. So what is my operation software? It is a billing software which is used at the counter. At the end, to tally it, to give it to the income tax department, to filing the returns, they might use Tally software. Okay. So have you understood the difference between a operation software and accounting software? Fine. So Tally is an Indian-based company. Tally is an Indian-based company. Tally Solutions Private Limited is the name of the company, and they are the creator of Tally software. It is not an MNC company. They are the creators of. It is a made in India product. It is based out of Bangalore, and they have branches and offices all over the world. Even Tally is popular in Gulf countries, African countries, Singapore, Malaysia. They all have it. But in India, their market share is more than 90%. What do you mean by market share? Market share is, see, I'll give you an example. What is the market share of Google search engine? What is the market share of Google search engine? Suppose 100 people are using search engine, and how many percentage Google occupies it? More than 95, 98? Correct. I'll give you another example. In toothpaste, who is the market leader? Who has the most market, having a more market share in toothpaste? Every day we brush no toothpaste. Which company has a more market share? I'm just explaining this to explain the market share concept. Can you just put it in the chat? Colgate, obviously. Colgate. Okay, so like that, in accounting segment, Tally enjoys the majority of the market share. I don't know the exact amount, is probably 90%. What I'm trying to say, suppose 100 companies using accounting software, out of 100, 90 companies will be using Tally software. Jocelyn Johnson, for you, good for that answer, Colgate. Yeah. So this is asking that what is the difference between operation software and accounting software? Okay. Accounting, see, mainly in accounting will come to that consolidation or preparing the balance sheet, preparing the cash flow statement, P&L, and figuring out the profitability, and for GST calculation purpose, income tax calculation purpose, they will put all the information in a consolidated way and they will prepare those information. No? So that purpose, accounting software is used in the large companies. In small companies, same Tally is used for operational purpose also. What do you mean by operational purpose? End user billing, sending a DC, which means delivery note, e-way bill registration. Those are all. It's an operational purpose. I'm talking about the Tally is an accounting software. For smaller companies, Tally is an operation software too. Only when it comes to very large companies, the operation software differs. They go for a SAP, Oracle like that. They may use Tally, may not use Tally. You got it? I think I've clarified my point. Fine. Now come to the Tally creator thing. So Tally is created by Mr. Bharat Goenka. He's an Indian and he's also awarded as a Padma Shri, and he's a father of Indian software product award. Also, he got it. He's an Indian. Fine. Now we'll come to that how the name Tally have come. Tally, how the name Tally has come. No? So in the initial period before the number system comes, the stone man or the man living in the cage, no, they used the strokes, no, they used the strokes to calculate the numbers. So at the end of the day, when they count the cattle they were rearing, they will just put strokes, and 4 strokes they will put. When the 5th animal comes, they will put the slash point in it. So this mark is called Tally mark. You get the point? So this is the initial numbering system the ancient man was using. So the name is derived from that particular notion. So this mark is called Tally, ancient numbering system. Just for curiosity's sake, I'm giving this information. So you might have seen this information in Tamil movie. Anybody can remember it? Vanilla Kabaddi Kudu, when Borota Suri eats Borota, so the master used to count it in this manner, tally mark. This mark is called tally mark. Okay, this is just for curiosity's sake, I am explaining this. Then, fine. Now we come to the important questions. So, why company is required? Why accounting software required? Why owners are required? Accounting software, that and all, it's okay. Why I need to study, sir? This is a basic question. What is in it for me? Why I need to study Tally? This is the why question. This is the why question. Why I have to study as a student? See, from plus 2 onwards, or plus 1 onwards, or if you are from CBSE, maybe earlier onwards, you might be studying your accounts, and you will be writing your accounts in papers. Am I right? Accounting sheets, papers. But in real world, is accounting maintained in papers? No, it is maintained in the software system. Okay, so which means that as an account student, or otherwise as a finance student, or otherwise management student, you need to know account, and you need to know software to practice accounts. Am I right? So if that is the case, so it's obvious choice that we learn a most popular, useful and best software to practice an account. Am I right? Good to go. Fine. See, I'll give an example. If you want to work in a computer, you need to know one computer operating system. Am I right? Which operating system you will choose? Will you choose Linux, Ubuntu, or some other operating system, or you will choose Windows? Obviously, you will choose Windows. Why you will choose Windows? Because in India, Windows is the most popular operating system. Am I right? So, like that, if you are in India and if you are an account student, or if you are a background of finance or management, so it is the obvious choice. You need to know Tally, because every wherever you go and most of the places you go, Tally is used. So this is the reason you study Tally software. So are you clear about this? If say, can you just got it? Message in your chat box. And another important thing is knowing Tally, the job opportunities is also more. Because as you know that any type of companies, whether it's a manufacturer, trader or services, even in government organization, even police department, Tally software is used. Okay. So which means that it is also creates a job opportunity for you. So learning a Tally software, it makes sense. Am I right? Okay. And also you can implement whatever you study in your accounting subject. You can put it in Tally and see it. Thanks, Kit Reddy, for the feedback. So, okay, then we come to the purpose of business. So, I introduced it. What is the purpose of business? Is to make money. Okay, so why I'm insisting on this, why I'm going to this topic instead of going to Tally? Because in Tally, you're going to see that net profit, gross profit, P&L. Okay, so you need to know that why this P&L is important, why this profit is important. Because software is used for business purpose, accounting purpose. So then you need to know that what is the purpose of accounting? What is the purpose of business? Is to make money. Am I right? So in business, money can be made in two ways. One is increasing the profit. Okay. What is the profit? Your income minus expense is a profit. Am I right? Okay. So just given an example, I buy a pen for 10 rupees. I'm selling it at 15 rupees. What is my profit? 5 rupees is my profit. This is a gross profit, net profit, we will see it later. You got to go. So this is one way I can improve the profit. The other one is what? How to increase the profit? Only two ways. One is increasing the sales. The other one is reducing the cost. Okay. I'll give you an example. If you are individual and you want to increase your bank balance, only two ways. What you can do? You can increase your earnings through salary or rental income. The other one is what? Cut down your expenses. Is there any other way? The same is applicable for businesses. If you want to increase the profit, you have to increase the sales and reduce the cost. I'm just giving this fundamentals to understand the businesses so that you'll have a better idea about accounting and this when you do a Tally. So that's an idea. I'm not going to get into the detail and all. Okay. Then, how accounting is important in business. In all businesses, these functions are there. Or otherwise, most of the businesses, these functions are there. Marketing, sales, accounts, operation, HR, management, R&D. I'm not getting into detail, which means that accounting or accounts department is part of any company or any organization, any businesses or non-profit organization. Correct. Accounting is one part of the thing. So here you have one advantage over any other student in any other student. If you are a BCom student or a accounting student, you can pat yourself that you have a better opportunity than any other branch. The reason, all the companies, whether it's an engineering company or whether it is a trading company or whether it is a IT company, they all have an accounts department. Correct. Even for a non-organization, they'll have an accounts department, which means that what? Which means what? You have a better opportunity, you have a better exposure, job opportunity than any other branches. Fine. Now we will get into business entity concept. Okay, so before I get into business entity concept, there's too much of theory, no? So before we get into it, let's do something practical. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you how to download Tally accounting software and install it. So please note that Tally accounting software is free for the educational purpose, trial purpose. It is not a fully functional. For trial purpose, we can use it. What is trial purpose and all, I will teach you. So suppose if you are in front of the system, you do whatever I do. Okay, so you can practice right away. So if you have a laptop or computer with you, it's better. Suppose if you don't have a computer laptop, try to attend this YouTube live tomorrow from the computer or laptop, so that you have a wider view and you'll have a better experience. So now I'm going to teach you how to download a Tally software. Okay, so you can just search Tally Prime in Google. So the first page itself shows that tallysolutions.com. Tallysolutions.com is the company who created the Tally software. Click it. Just search Tally Prime. The Tally solution, the link will appear at first. Then go here. The right hand side you can see one button, download. Click here. Then click the download button. Here you are able to see Tally Prime 2.1. So Tally Prime is the software name. In short, we say Tally. And 2.1 is the release. What do I mean by release? I'll come back to you. So here you click the button, download. So you download it anywhere in your system. So here I am downloading it in C drive setup folder. I'm just saving it. It got downloaded. It's very small software. The setup has been downloaded. Tally I have not installed now. I just downloaded the setup. Open here, show in folder. So this is the software setup. It is 43 MB megabytes. So now I'm going to install the software. Double click it. So I have a lot of other software is installed, so I'm asking this. Otherwise, for you and all, it will not be there. These options will not be available. So I'm using the option install new. I'm double clicking it, and I'm installing it one particular drive. So here I'm changing the drive. See, in your case, if it is asking C program files Tally Prime, you just install, you just move it. Okay. or otherwise I can also do it. No program files, Tally Prime 7. I have other software, other Tally Prime install versions are there. So that is the reason it is giving another name. For you, it won't appear. It will have only the Tally Prime. I'm just configuring application path. I'm changing it. So in your case, you don't need to change it. Okay, in your case, you don't need to change it. What I do, I'll create one folder and I'll put it there. Okay. So please note that in your case, you just go ahead. Okay, you can just go ahead and install in the default option it shows. Since in my system there are a lot of Tally already installed there, I'm choosing a different folder, software. I chose a sorry students for the technical issue. So say what we were saying is we were downloading the Tally software, and I'll repeat it. So what do? You open the browser, select Tally Prime, select Tally Prime. The Tally solution website comes. Here you click it. Click download. Once it download, if you click download, then you will have an option called Tally Prime release 2.1. Okay. So this 2.1 is a minor version. So Tally Prime is the software. 2.1 is the minor version. Okay. What do you mean by minor versions? In Android, will have some releases will come. No, Android 10.0, Windows Service Pack like that. So that is called as a minor version. So you just click it. It will one setup.exe file will download. Assume that it is downloaded already in my system. So I have downloaded in the system C setup this file. This file you double click it and give SSSS. So whatever it is option is asking, give next. The software will get downloaded. I'm not going to do it now because it's already installed in my system. So in your system you can do it. So please note that Tally will work only for Windows operating system. Mac computer it will not work. Tablet it will not work. It is a Windows application software, which means it will work in the Windows operating system only. Okay. So that this Tally Prime will not work in the older operating systems like Windows XP and all. It will not work. Windows 10 and all, Windows XP are very old software. Most of the computers don't use that. So what you need to do, this setup, you double click it, and like you say, install any other software, you give next, the software gets installed. Good to go. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat. So once you have installed, you will see icon like this. You will see icon like this. Since I'm using with different versions, I'm having a lot of Tally instances, but in your case, you will have only one. Good to go? Fine. So this is an icon. The software install, probably in your case, it is installed in Program Files Tally Prime folder. Fine. So now I'll double click the software Tally. The software is opening. Now it asks for the 4 options. You choose the leftmost option because what you are going to use it is an educational version, which means it's a trial version. It is not a fully functional software. What is the difference between a fully functional software and trial version? I'll let you know. So here you have to choose continue in educational mode. If any message comes, just click enter. Fine. Okay, fine. Then now Tally is installed and we have opened in an educational mode. Fine. Now we will create a company to maintain accounts for the particular company. Fine. So it's something like that. So suppose if you want to maintain accounts for a particular company, what do you do by manually? We will buy set of books, your voucher notebooks, your sales register, your journal register, and all. We will buy it, and you will create a data. Correct. So first you will buy your books. No. In the same way, in a computer, before you create a accounting for a particular company, you create a company. Okay. So that option is create company. You will use mouse. You can use mouse, and as well as you can use keyboard. In keyboard, you will use this up arrow, down arrow, no, to navigate through the menu. This we call it as a menu. Okay, you can. So this is also top menu, but this is also called as a menu. You see that you go to this create company option. Click create company. So this is nothing but we are creating one folder where we are going to maintain all the accounting data for the particular company. So I give an option create company. Here you can choose where you want to save this data. See, this data is also a file, no? It's a normal file like your Excel, your Word, or your Notepad file. So here you will choose that. Where do I want to save my company data? Okay. So that by entering it, the cursor has come to this line, company line. Give Shift tab. Enter Shift tab to move to the previous line. So I press Shift tab. Or you can use mouse. So please note that while using Tally, it's always advisable to use only the keyboards. In all the Tally functions, you can use it through keyboards. The reason is what? It is easy. It is user friendly. You don't need to switch between a keyboard and a mouse. So practice to use the Tally using a keyboard. Fine. Company data path. What does it mean? Company data path. It means where my data is stored. Okay. See, for example, in my case, I want to store my data in one particular folder. This PC, C drive. I think you're all familiar with the Windows thing, no? Okay. So I'll create one folder called WCC. Okay. This folder has no files in it. Am I right? Now I want to create a data. Which data? Tally data inside this folder. Okay. This folder is where WCC is under C drive. So open Tally. Here, go here. Specify path. I want to put it in, or otherwise you can choose path. Select from drive. You have to give enter. Okay. C drive account. Again, I give enter. Then I have to choose the WCC folder. I can scroll down using a arrow button, or otherwise I can type it WCC. As if I type it, the folder gets visible. Are you able to see it? The folder is visible. WCC. The folder I am selecting it. Okay. Now I am going to create a company. Okay. So what do? We will create a sample company. Say example, ABC Limited. This is the company name, and this is the mailing name. I tell you the difference later. Okay. Company name and mailing name. Then I give the address. This is the address of the company. 75 Gandhi Street. I give some random address for a sample sake. Chennai. Then I choose the Tamil Nadu. I choose the state Tamil Nadu. Then pin code 6,01,000. Then telephone number of the company. Good to go. Telephone number of the company, landline. Then mobile number. Some random number I'm giving. Okay. Then fax. Nowadays fax mostly not used. So okay, you can skip this field. Then email ID, gmail.com. Then website, abc.com. Example. Okay. You good to go? So these are the basic details of the company. ABC Limited, address, state, country, pin code, I'm given. Next will comes to financial year beginning. Okay. So what does it mean? What is the beginning of the financial year? 1st April 2022. You may ask, sir, it's always 1st April only. Why they are specifically saying? See, in some countries, financial year will be different. In US and all, the financial year starts from the 1st January. It's a calendar year. In India, it starts from the April to March. This is our financial year. Okay. So, what is the normal financial year practiced in the particular company, in the particular country? That is the financial. Next is the books beginning period. What does it mean, books beginning period? What is the difference between financial year and books beginning period? See, my financial year starts from April. Okay. Suppose I want to maintain books only from 15th of 1st of May. Okay, 1st of May. 1st of May only I started a company. Okay, so I will not have any transaction before that. Am I right? So in that case, I will use the books beginning period as 1.5.22. You get the point? So what is the financial year beginning? For the particular country, what is a normal financial year beginning date? This is the books beginning period. When from which date I'm maintaining the records? That is called the books beginning. Am I right? So normally whenever the company starts, so that is the beginning of the books maintenance. Suppose if the company is started on 1st of June, so what would be my beginning period? 1.6. Am I right? Okay, fine. So in this case, example, we'll say 1/4/2022. That is my financial year beginning and the books beginning, both are same. Good to go? Fine. So next is a base currency symbol. So this symbol is a rupee symbol. You all know it, no? So now I'm going to maintain it in rupee symbol. So I'm putting rupee. You can also maintain the currency, different currency also. You can maintain it in dollar, pound, yen, whatever currency the company is maintaining, you can also maintain it. As I said, Tally is not only used in India, you can use it in many other countries also. So especially on these South Asian countries, Tally is widely used. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, and Gulf countries, Tally is used. In Gulf countries and all, what is the currency? Dinar, Rial. So those are the currencies we can maintain. Fine. So in this screen, I am creating a company. Actually, it's a folder. It's a set of files will be created in the background. You are going to see it. See, if you look at here, WCC does not have any folder at all. I have not yet finished the company creation screen. I have just given a data. If I say accept and and one more screen will come. Yeah. Again, if I say enter, then I'll come to the end. This is all you give enter. You don't worry about it. Later we will see it. If it is required, I will cover it. Otherwise, these are all advanced part. We may not require also. Enter. Yes. So now the data folder is created at the backend. How do you know it? Here, go and see. Are you able to see it? 10,000. So this is the data folder for the company ABC Limited. Understood? If you open and see, there are some files will be there. Don't open and see those files. These are all tally related files. You will not be able to understand it. And by opening and seeing, you will tap on the data also. Okay. So now we have created a company. So the company name is ABC Limited. Whatever data I enter will get stored inside this folder. Good to go? Can you just put it in your chat box? Understood. I will also repeat once again. If you have understood, just put understood. So what you have to do is you have to download Tally and open a company. Okay, fine. So we'll see. We'll open another company. Just for an example sake, we'll open another company. So how do you open? From the beginning, I'll show you. Double click it. Tally. Tally is opening. I can do two things. One is I can create a new company or I can open an existing company. So now we will open an existing company. What is the existing company? We have just created this ABC Limited. That is the existing company. So here what is the option we have to use? Educational mode. Continue in educational mode. Because we are not buying license. It's not required also for a training purpose, for a learning purpose. Enter it. Okay. Now I need to open a company which is already created. So where do I have my company? It is stored in C drive inside the folder WCC. So what should I do? Here select from drive. Use arrow keys to navigate between front and back, or otherwise up and below. Select from drive. Select C drive. Type WCC. It has come now. Enter here. Now you are able to see that ABC Limited. So this is a company we just created. I enter it, the company got open. Good to go? Fine. So now I'll again show you how to create a company, another company. So this company I've opened it. I want to close this company. Close means company will close it. File close it. It's not deletion. It's a file close, like a file closing. I want to close this company. How do I do it? There's a shortcut, Alt F1. It will ask. You can now shut the company by pressing Ctrl F3. Or do you want to shut the company? Yes. Alt F1 also you can give, or Alt F3 also you can give. Or otherwise, you can use this menu. Which menu? Company menu. In the top, you are able to see company menu. See, this is a shortcut. This is called as a top menu, Tally top menus. The first menu is called company menu. So you can see the shortcut key, K underscore. So what does it mean? I have to use the K key along with the Alt key. Whenever there is a single dash, you have to use it along with the Alt key. If it's a double dash, you have to use it along with the Control key. I just repeated how to use the shortcut key. A letter with a single dash, you have to use it with the Alt key. If it has a double dash, you have to use it as with a Control key. Now we don't have a double dash menu here, but inside that you will see it by the time I'll show you. Okay. Now I'm going to shut the company. Okay. Shut means I'm going to close the company. Close means it's not a deletion. Just by not viewing it. Okay. So I press Alt K. Are you able to see the menu? Shut, enter it. And directly also you can shut it. Control F3. Control F3. How do you know that it's a Control F3? If you go to company menu, you can see it was shut. Here you will see Control F3. This is a shortcut key. See, please don't try to remember the shortcut keys. Even if you don't remove the shortcut, it's absolutely fine. You know where to see that. See, it's a company related activity, which is shutting a company, creating a company. So obviously it will be in the menu called company menu. Good to go? Fine. So I'm shutting it. ABC Limited company, I'm closing it. Good to go? The company is closed. You're not able to see in the begin, no? Fine. Now I want to create one more company. Okay. So how do I create? Use this arrow keys to go navigate forward. Create company. Where do you want to create? So the default folder it shows CWCC. If you want to change it, how do we go? Shift tab. If you press Shift tab, you will be able to go to the previous line. You can change which folder you want to choose. Select from drive, or you can also specify the folder. I'll give you one example. C drive WCC2. Okay. There is no folder called WCC2. It will automatically create. That you are going to see it. I enter it. It is asking WCC2 does not exist. Do you want to create it? That folder. I say yes. Okay, WCC2. I'm creating it. The company I'm going to use it is create is XYZ company. XYZ Limited. Then I give an address. Nehru Street, Egmore, Chennai. Just for an example sake, I'm saying that, no? So country, and I'm just trying to select some other country, United States of America. Okay. If you go in states, I will get all the states available in United States. So what I'm trying to say, it's not only an Indian company, you can also maintain accounts for foreign company also. Good to go? Are you able to see it? See California, I can choose the state California, Illinois, Missouri, or whatever the states available in states, it's there. See, for example, I go Sri Lanka country. So the states available in the Sri Lanka is available. Maybe in the Sri Lanka it is not called as a state, it's called as a district. See, it's automatically changes. Are you able to see? Okay. So like that, UAE, United Arab Emirates. So here it is calling it is called as Emirates. What are the other Emirates? Emirates are Abu Dhabi, Ajman, Dubai. So the point is you can maintain accounts for foreign countries also. Good to go? Fine. And also you'll be able to see, this is automatically changes, AED, the currency symbol. Arab Emirates Dinar, something like that. Okay. It comes. So now let's use India itself. India. So Tamil Nadu. Okay. Then pin code something. I'm giving just for an example. 567896. Okay, fax and email is xyz@gmail.com. xyz.com. The financial year beginning and book beginning year. You know the difference. Book beginning is the date from which we were maintaining the books. We are starting maintaining accounts. Fine? Yeah. So I create the company. I'll teach another shortcut key. To save any screen through shortcut, you have to use Control A. Let me repeat, Control A, Control Accept. Okay, to remember it, Control A, the screen gets saved. Can you just type it in your chat box? Control A. So it will help you to remember it. Control A for shortcut saving of tally screen. Control A. Now can you go and see if the folder is created or not? So it is created in the drive C. What is the folder name? WCC2. Inside that I have one company. Can you just type Control A or CTLA, just to recall and remember the shortcut key. This is one of the important shortcut key. Otherwise, what you have to do? You have to enter. You have to come to the end of the particular field or particular line to save it. Good to go? Fine. Now we have created a company. We have how to create a folder and give details. This we have learned it. Fine. Good. So now we will open a ABCD company. So where I can open a company? It's not creation, open a company. The data is already there. I am opening it. Okay. So it will be in company folder, company menu. Alt K, select company. Opening in Tally it means select. Okay. Select company. It is not available. Why it's not available? The company inside the WCC2 only it's showing. Actually, our ABC Limited company, which is in which folder? C WCC. Okay. So I go to select drive, C drive, WCC, enter ABC Limited. Okay. I'm able to open two companies. I can open, please note that I can open any number of companies. You might ask, sir, in real situation, do we have this much of company? It depends. In some companies, they operate in 2-3 names, no? It depends. Okay, some company will have more than one company. And the other scenario is, last year data they maintain it one company, the next year data they will maintain it a different folder or different company. In Tally term, it's a different company. Let me explain to you. 21, 22, all financial transactions, they will have it in one folder. 22 to 23, they'll have it in a different folder. Good to go? Fine. So now I'll shut the company. What is the shortcut key for shut the company? Control F3. I shut the company XYZ. Good to go? Fine. So now I'll explain this part. This menu part I will explain it to you. So this menu is called as a menu. This menu is called Gateway of Tally. This is the home page of Tally. What is the home page? The very first screen. Home page. So that in Tally terms, it is called as a gateway of Tally. Okay. So this is a gateway of Tally menu, and this is the company. It is open, and this is the current period. For which current period the company is open? Are you able to see 1st April 22 to 31 March 23? Okay. I have not given 30 to 31 March 23. It automatically comes. How? Because it takes a 1 year. Because beginning period is 1-4 April means it takes 1 year and it shows this information. Fine. And this is the current date. What is the current date in the Tally? Not the system date. What is the current date? What is the current date? In Tally, the current date is what is the last transaction has happened. See, since we have just created the software, there is no transaction. There is no voucher is entered. And you can also see from here, date of last entry, no vouchers entered. No vouchers, we have not entered any voucher. Fine. Then I will explain this company folder, company menu. This you have created, with this we know it create. So next one is a select, we have seen it. Shut, we have seen it. So these three menus we have seen. Okay. I want to change some information in the company screen. So for that we will use this menu. Which menu? Alter. If I click it, I am able to say example I missed something. Okay, Gandhi state. The second state. Information I can alter. Okay. So this is also something new we have seen it. Alter the company information. Good to go? Rest of things we are not going to see it. Because there are a lot of we are going to see only the key information which is required for us to at the interest of time and the interest of the scope of this program, we are going to concentrate. Rest of things we are not going to see. Data and all I will come back to you later. This exchange, this is to send e-way bill, e-invoicing and all. Will not be using it. Export email and all will be using it, that I'll tell you. Print also will use it. Print to print the report or a screen, we will use this menu print. And F1 is to help. Okay. Here I'm going to show you one menu in the help, that is about. If you click this about, you will be able to see it. So what is my application? Tally Prime. What is the release? Minor release, that is minor version of the software, which is 2.1. application path, where the software is installed, C program files, Tally Prime. So in your system it may be different. Is there any other Tally software installed? Since I'm using a Tally for my other works, there are 7 softwares installed, but that's absolutely fine. But in your case, you have only one. The other thing is educational purpose, educational version. Application status, educational version. It's not a fully functional software. Okay, what I mean by I'll tell you soon. Fine. The rest of the information is system information, which is not much important. So, in the help, what you can know is what is the latest release of the software and where it is installed. So, those information you can see it. Good to go. And this is the right button in Tally. Right button is each button will have some purpose. So, this is the right button in Tally. Good to go. Fine. Is this clear? Can you just say got it? Up to now, I am understood. What I have learned so far: how to download Tally, how to install Tally, how to create company, how to open company, how to shut company. So this information we have seen. Correct. So far, if you are clear with this, can you just type got it, or just G is enough? Can you just put it in your chat box? So we will move on to the conceptual for some time. Then we will come to the entries in Tally. Anyone, can you just give your feedback? Thanks, Kirti. So we will see some concept, then we'll come to Tally and how to we will see how to make entries. Okay. So the software part we have seen. Okay, so see in an account there are few basic assumptions or concepts we use while making an entry. Okay, see one of the important concept is business entity concept. So those who are accounting background, you are all familiar with this. I hope you are all familiar with this. Anyway, for the non-accounting guys, I'll just give an example. In an accounting, your business and owner are different people. Okay, of course, the business belongs to owner only, but it is viewed or it is perceived as owner and business are two different entities, two different part. Okay, see for example, your owner is investing in his business. That is also his business only. For example, 1 crore. From the business point of view, what happens now? The business is always liable to pay back to the owner. Correct? Because business and owner are different. Good to go. So this entity is called business entity. This concept is called business entity concept. That is, business and owner are always different. It is perceived as a different persons. Okay. So in families, even father, son, even a father lends money. All the money belongs to father, will come to son only. But even the father gives some money, just give you an example. He has to give back the money to father. Okay, because both are different. But anyway, it's a family money. But it is a perception. That is how it is viewed. Related to that, the business is also viewed like that. That is, business and owner both are different. Okay, which means the business is putting a money that should be accounted, and for the business it is a liability. Of course, it's a capital, but it's a current liability only. Correct? Not current liability; it's a liability. So next one is a dual aspect concept. So this is one of the brilliance of accounting system, which means that any transaction there will be minimum two entity will be involved. Minimum two entity will be involved. So the one is called debit, the other one is called credit. Why I say minimum? There can be 2-3 debits, 4-5 credits also there. That I'll come back to later. So this is called as a dual aspect concept. Minimum 2 entities involved. So the total amount of debit is equivalent to total amount of credit. If this does not match, then it is not a valid transaction. Good to go? So have you understood this dual aspect concept? If you have understood, just type DA because it's very, very important for all the transaction. What do you mean by transaction? First of all, any money related activity, that's a transaction. For example, a businessman is investing, a businessman is drawing, a sales is happening, a purchase is made, a expense is made. So these are all examples of transaction. All the transactions will have a minimum 2 accounts involved. So that is called a, one is called a debit, the other one is called a credit. The total amount of debit and total amount of credit is should be equal. Okay. So this is called as a dual aspect concept. Please understand that this is very, very important. Okay. So if you understood this, or otherwise if you learn this DA, put DA in your chat box. Put DA in your chat box. Good, fine. So what is the transaction? A business event that has a monetary impact involves minimum 2 entities. That's what you are seeing. See, for example, a owner comes on time. Is it a transaction? No. Correct. There is an inauguration of new plant for the particular company. Is it a transaction? No, because there is no money involved. But the money is spent for the inauguration, then that is a transaction. You got it? A company is awarded a best company for the particular year. Is it a transaction? No. It's an event that has no monetary impact. But the company is given a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees. Here the monetary picture comes. Correct. That will become an indirect income for the particular company. So whenever there is a monetary impact, that is a transaction. Valuation and all will not come. Goodwill, royalty, those and all will not come. That's all assumptive. Correct? Next, examples of transaction. That's what I said. Examples of transaction. Buying, selling, spending some amount, petrol expenses, capital, loan, credit card charges. So these are all examples of transactions. Fine. So next is, this is the terms we are going to, interchangeably you are going to use it. Accounts, ledger, heads. Here what you have to notice, all the three means the same. All the three mean the same. Accounts, ledger, heads. It is interchangeably used. In your books, maybe you can call it as a ledger. In Tally, we call it as a head. In oral, call it as a head. Accounts. So both are, all the three, not both. All the three are same. Then all the heads, all the ledgers. See, we know that for a transaction, 2 accounts are required, or 2 heads are required, or minimum 2 ledgers are required. Okay. All these 2 heads or 2 accounts are belongs to this 4 category only. There is no account beyond this scope. Whatever you say, whatever account, it will come to this 4 category. Okay. We'll see one by one. I'm not going to deep into it, otherwise it will become a accounting class. I'm just going to give a glimpse and I'm going to pass on. Fine. I think since you are from accounting background, most of you are familiar with this concept: asset, liability, income, and expenses. So, what is an asset? What company owns? Whatever is available is an asset. Company having it is called as an assets, which has some money value. Okay. So, for example, bank balance, your cash balance, your computer, your building, stocks, cash balance, your truck used for the company, own trucks. These are all called assets. Fine. It's a literal meaning, asset. So next is a liability. The company owes. What do you mean by owes? It has to give back. Liability. Your owner is a liability. Capital account is a liability. It has to give it to the owner. What at one point of time? Taken a loan from bank. So that is a capital liability. That's a liability. Got it? Then tax. They have collected tax from the customer while they are selling it. That is supposed to be paid to the government. That is supposed to be returned to the government. So that is also liability. Whatever a company owes is called as a liability. So next is an income. What do you mean income? Your sales. It can be direct income or indirect. Direct income is you make money of your primary trading activity or operational activity, which is the sales. Indirect income means, say example, a company having a fixed deposit. For the fixed deposit, there will be some interest will be deposited or interest will come. No? That is an indirect income. A company put the old newspaper for a scrap, old material for a scrap. That is an income. Good to go? Fine. So next is an expenses. What's an expenses? They purchase material. They make money, they purchase material. That is a expenses. This is the direct expenses. Wages to the labor, salary. So these are all expenses. What are the other expenses? It comes to your mind. Rental, electricity, internet, petrol expenses, traveling expenses. So these are all called expenses. So in the transaction, we need to have a minimum 2 accounts, and all the 2 accounts will come under these 4 heads only. What are the 4 heads? Assets, liability, income, and expenses. Got it? So if you understood this, can you just type 4 accounts, 4A in the chat box? Can you just type 4A in the chat box? Good. Thanks, Kirti, for the feedback. Okay. So now we know that there are 2 accounts. Okay. Minimum 2 accounts is required. What to be debited, what to be credited? There is a golden rule. There is an accounting rule is there. This you would have studied in your +1, +2 or in your college things. So there's a personal account, real account, nominal account, and this is the rule for that. Debit the receiver, credit the giver, what comes in, what goes out. You all familiar with this? Fine. So this is the accounting. I'm not getting into detail. So this is the rule for what to debit and what to credit. Okay. Then accounts is classified as a personal, real, nominal account, and this is the chart you would have seen it. Your personal account is individual's salary account. Real account means relating to asset, property, cash, bank. Nominal account is related to expenses, income. So these are all called nominal account. Personal account, real account, nominal account. I'm just skipping it. Just a minute. I'm having a very short way of remembering it. Shortcut. I'm just teaching a shortcut. What to be debited, what to be credited. Okay. So we know 4 accounts. So one is the 4 heads. It all comes under 4 heads. So asset, liability, income, and expenses. Okay. I'm just giving a shortcut. So if you're very confused with what to be credited, normal account, nominal account, real account, and all, I'll give you one shortcut. Format helps. You just see that if it helps, you can use this shortcut also. You have to remember 2 names. One is a LIC, the other one is a AED. Okay. What is LIC? You all familiar with the Life Insurance Corporation of India. The next one is a AED. What is AED? To remember, I just coined this term AED. Arab Emirates dinar. Okay, Arab Emirates dinar. What is the costliest currency in the world? What is the costliest currency in the world? It is dinar, no? Correct? Am I right? Costliest currency is dinar. Okay, just for a remember sake. What you have to do is, if liability and income increases, if liability and income, LI, liability and income increases, you have to credit it. Liability income increases, you have to credit it. If asset and expenses increases, you have to debit it. Just a shortcut. If liability and income increases, credit it. So shortcut wise, LIC, AED. LIC is the Life Insurance Corporation, you can easily remember. AED is the costliest currency. Arab Emirates dinar. We call it as Arab Emirates dinar. That's equivalent to 1 dinar is equivalent to some 150 or 200, whatever it is. But that is the costliest currency value. So this is the shortcut I'm using it. If you think that it is cool, this tip is cool, you just type COOL in your chat box. I just want a feedback. Because if someone have some difficulty in remembering this golden rule, personal account, real account, I suggest them to use this method. LIC AAD. If liability and or income increases, credit it. If asset and expenses increases, debit it. Thanks, Kirti, for the feedback. Liability increases, credit it. Okay. Asset and expenses increases, debit it. So this is the chart. The ulta is, if liability decreases, debit it. Income decreases, debit it. So LIC AED, this two word is enough for you to remember it. You have to ulta it. Liability or income increases, credit. What if it decreases? The reverse. Debit it. Correct? Fine. Good? Fine. Now we will get into tally and make transactions. Fine. So before we make a transaction, we know that a transaction requires two accounts, minimum two accounts. Okay. So the accounts has to be created at first before we make a transaction. Okay. So how to create a account head or ledger or head? Here we have an option, create. Click here, create ledger. For example, the very first transaction I want to put. Okay, the very first transaction is your owner is investing 1 lakh into the business. Okay, into the business. How he is investing? He is giving a cash. He is giving a cash to the company. 1 lakh cash is giving. So what are the accounts are involved? Owner and the cash. Am I right? Here owner account, what we call, we'll call it as a capital. Okay. Assume that Mr. Kumar is the owner. I'll say that Mr. Kumar is investing. I'll call this account as a Mr. Kumar capital. Capital account. So this is my account name or ledger name, whatever way you are convenient, you can call this. Mr. Kumar capital account. Okay. So this alias and all, I'll come back to you later. Description and all, you can skip it. Notes, you can skip it. Then I'll come to this part. So this part, under, what does it mean under? Here only we are going to say that whether it is a liability or a income or a expense or an asset. Okay. So tally has some predefined groups. Tally has some predefined groups. In any one of the groups, we have to select it. So I say that Mr. Kumar capital account. But does the system know it's a capital account? No. System will not know. I need to tell that it is a capital account. How do I tell it? By selecting an appropriate group. Okay. Here what I would suggest, what I will select, there are many groups are available. Right now, so you are able to see this, we call it as a table. Here we will choose the respective heads. I'll choose a capital account. Are you able to see it? Capital account. You might ask, sir, you said only 4. There are only 4 heads only coming. Comes in. Why you say that capital account? Capital accounts also comes under one of the 4 accounts. Can we see it? So capital account is a group. I'm selecting it. Here we call it as an under. In the screen it shows as under. This we call it as a group. What group? Ledger group or account group. This is called ledger and this is called ledger group. So for all the ledger, we choose the appropriate ledger group. Why we have to choose appropriate ledger group? So that the amount in the particular group fit in the respective heads. Otherwise, everything will come under same line or hierarchy. Okay, I will show you. I will show you that later. Okay, capital account. I want to know where is capital account. Capital account belongs to which head? So what you have to do? You have to press Control Enter. Another shortcut key, Control Enter. The shortcut key is not available in the screen. Okay, so please make a note. Control Enter. Control Enter to go to the master, modify it. I am in the capital account and press Control Enter. Are you able to see it? Control Enter. You just mentioned CE, Control Enter in your chat box in order to remember. So capital account under what? Nature of group. It is a liability. You remember business entity concept? Even though business is owned by the owner, business and the owner are different, which means business owes the owner the capital amount. Okay. So Control A, can you just see A? Control A. In order to go to the master. Which master? This capital account is a group. I press Control Enter. I'm able to see it, which is a liability. So which means that my statement become true. What did I say? All comes under 4 heads. What are the 4 heads? Asset, liability, income and expenses. Good to go. So I say capital account. So one account I created. Fine. So what is the shortcut key to show the screen? Save the screen. Anyone remember? We just see. Control A. Correct. I just stored it. I created one account. What account? Mr. Kumar capital account. Then the Mr. Kumar is investing cash. So then I need to have a cash account also. Am I right? So I type cash. I enter it. What happens? I'm getting an error. Name already exists. Enter a different name. What does it mean? There is an account already existing with the name cash. Please note that by default, Tally has just 2 accounts by default. One is a cash, the other one is a profit account, which means it's a part of a Tally. You don't need to exclusively create it. How do I know it? I'm trying to alter. Okay, I'm trying to alter the master. So this is a master. Master means what? One time you create and you repeatedly use it. That is a master. Transaction, each and every time you have to put. Good to go? I'll give an example. Your roll number is a master. Your name is a master. Each and every day they take attendance, no? This attendance data is a transaction. I'm just giving you an example. So now I'm going to alter the master. Here I'm going to alter the ledger account. Both are same. Alter, ledger. Are you able to see it? This Mr. Kumar capital account that we just created. Rest of the things we have not created. It is already existing. This is one interview question for Tally. What is the pre-existing ledger in Tally? Or which are the ledgers by defaults available in Tally? So if it is asked, you need to answer cash and the profit and loss account. Good to go? So cash is already there. Fine. Now our aim is to make one transaction. The transaction is Mr. Kumar is investing 1 lakh cash in the company that we are going to enter it in the Tally. So that is the transaction. For that purpose, we are supposed to create a 2 account. One is a Kumar capital account. The next one is a cash account. Since cash account is already there, we only have to create Kumar account. We have just created. Fine. So the master is created. Now we need to make a transaction. Where can I make a transaction? Are you able to see there is a menu? Vouchers under the heading transaction. So this is where I am going to enter my transaction. What is my transaction? Kumar is putting a capital of 1 lakh cash. I am enter vouchers. How to go vouchers? Enter vouchers. Are you able to see it? Okay. If I go to enter vouchers, what happens? I am in the voucher type called payment. Okay. See in your accounts, now you call everything as a journal. Correct. So normally how will you make this journal? Debit the cash and credit the Kumar account. Correct. we call it everything journal, but in Tally there is a little not understanding. It's a little way of doing it. Tally's way of doing it. See, in each transaction, we'll broadly classify it to payment, receipt, sales, purchase. Okay, you got it? What is the payment? Making a payment. Okay, we'll credit the bank or cash. Okay, so that is a payment transaction. Receipt transaction, whenever there is a inflow of money, whenever money is received, whatever be the source, that is a receipt. What is the sales? When we sell a product or a services, that kind of a journal, that kind of a transaction we call it as a sales. For a purchase, again we purchase a material or a service, that is called as a purchase. There's something called contra. I'll come back to you later. So in this case, what is our transaction type? What should be our transaction type? In this case, 1 lakh money is coming inside the company, correct, as a cash. So what is the type of a transaction I should choose? I should choose receipt. Okay, this receipt. So what I have to do, I have to either click it or I have to use a shortcut key. What is the shortcut key? F6. How do you know it? It's available no here. F6. I press F6. Fine. Okay. So what happened? So here it comes in a single entry mode. Okay, single entry mode means, okay, first I'll show you the double entry mode, then you will know that single entry mode. There is an option called change mode. I click here. Are you able to see it? Change mode. What is the shortcut key for the change mode? H comes with the double dash. Are you able to see it? H comes with the double dash. So we just learned that whatever the shortcut key with the double dash under it, we have to use it with the combination of control key. So I say that control H. I'm choosing an option double entry. Okay. Of course, in back end, it's everything is a double entry. Don't confuse it with that single entry thing. I'll come back to you later. Okay. So always it's a double entry. Fine. Okay. Credit. It comes. So I put a double entry mode. Credit. Credit what? What should I credit? Capital. Okay. Capital. Mr. Kumar Capital. How do you know it's a credit? First I need to identify what are the transactions and what? Cash and credit. Okay. Cash and credit. So what is cash? Is the cash is increasing or decreasing? Cash is increasing. Am I right? When the cash comes in the company, cash balance is increasing. So what is the rule for a credit debit rule for the cash? AED. We are saying no. Cash is an asset. AED what? Asset or expenses increases, we have to debit it. Okay. So cash I have to debit it. Obviously, the equivalent amount is what? Credit. So the other account is what? Obviously, it is a Kumar Capital. Again, Kumar Capital is a liability. LIC. You remember? Liability. Here the liability of the company increases. The company, what it owes is increases. So I have to credit it. So yes, so that is the reason I'm choosing Mr. Kumar Capital account. So how much money is coming? 1 lakh is coming, correct? Okay, coming. And what I have to do? I have to coming as a cash. So then I have to debit the cash account. 1 lakh. Good to go. So here I can put some narrations. Kumar invested in the company. Enter. Enter. Okay. So now we have entered our very first transaction in Tally. Correct? Okay. So what are things we have done? So first we have identified one transaction. The transaction is the owner Mr. Kumar is investing. So investing in as a cash. Okay. Then we have to identify two accounts. One is the Mr. Kumar Capital account. The other one is a cash account. Cash account is already existing in Tally. So I just created a Kumar account. How did I create? The masters create, choose ledger. I enter the name. I'm not going to store it. I enter the name. Then I choose the appropriate what? Ledger group. Okay, ledger group. How do I know that ledger group? Here I am able to see the list of groups. So it is called as a ledger group. I choose the appropriate group. So these are the Tally predefined groups. Tally predefined groups. Good to go? Fine. Then I created a ledger. What is the shortcut key? Control A. By pressing Control A, I have created a ledger. Then come back to the transactions. So transaction, I create vouchers. So what is the transaction type? It is a receipt. The money is coming inside. Okay, so I have to choose the F6. Okay, receipt. You're able to see it. Since I have chosen the previous transaction F6, it shows the previous thing. Otherwise, it would have shown some other transaction type. The transaction type you can also call it as a voucher type. Let me show you. The transaction we can also call it as a voucher type. Here in this case, it's a receipt. Fine. So receipt, what did I do? I put Kumar Capital as 1 lakh. I'm not going to save this because I already entered it. Just for a reiterating purpose, I'm showing this. And the debit I'm showing, I'm selecting cash because cash is increased, cash is added, asset is increased. So it is a debit. Okay. Done. I have done it. Good. How do I see that? How do I see it? I have entered the value. How do I see it? Okay. So you can see it in many places. One of the places is called daybook report. Daybook report. What is report? Showing up information already done. It is not an entry. It is already there, which gets visible. So where I'm seeing it, I'm seeing it in the daybook. Are you able to see a report? Daybook. Click here. I'm able to see it. Daybook here. What is the date of the entry? 1st April, particular, receipt, 1 lakh, credit. Good to go? So the point you have to notice, how do you see the entered transaction? Go to daybook. Daybook is available here under this voucher. Enter. Here I'm able to see it. Good to go? Got it? So if you understood, can you just type Q in your chat box? We created a ledger. We posted a transaction. We checked the transaction in the daybook report. We saw the transaction. So if you understood, can you just type U in your chat box? So students, please note that there is an attendance link has been shared in the chat box. Please click it. Thanks, Kitty, for the feedback. Fine, good. So now I know you guys are familiar with the balance sheet and all. Even if you don't know, that's not a problem. I'll show you this how the balance sheet is shown. So where is the balance sheet menu is available? It's available in the gateway of Tally. Are you able to see it? Balance sheet. Okay, I click here. The balance sheet shows. Are you able to see it? Left hand side is my liability, right hand side is my assets part. In capital account, 1 lakh is shown, which is the amount invested by the owner. The current asset is 1 lakh. My cash is my current asset. Okay, my cash is my current asset. How do I can expand and see also. To expand it, what is the shortcut button? Alt F1. Alt F1 is to expand or show in detail. Alt F1 or F5 also you can use it. So I press Alt. Just press Alt key, then you will know that there's some changes happening in the right hand side. Are you able to see it? I just press Alt key. So there are some changes happening. Here it shows in a detailed. Alt F5. Alt F8 detail. Are you able to see it? Capital account. This is my ledger. Kumar Capital 1 lakh and cash in hand 1 lakh. Cash in hand is also a group. It's not a ledger. Group. If you press Control Enter to go to the master, what is the shortcut key? Control Enter. Cash in hand. It comes under current asset. Okay. Current asset comes under assets category. Good to go. So if you understood this balance sheet, can you just type BS in your chat box? BS. Another term I will introduce you. So in the menu, some of the characters are highlighted in blue color with the capital letter. Are you able to see it? In create C, in alter A, in chart of accounts H, in vouchers V. So this key is called hotkey, which means what? You can just press the hotkey in your keyboard, the particular action will happen. See, I'm not using the keyboard front and top and down button. I just press K, my table gets open. Good to go. So what I've understood, hotkey HK, type HK. So during the training, so some of the memory for the sake of memory use, I asked you to type something. If you follow this, it will help you to remember the particular concept aspect or shortcuts. HK for a hotkey. Good. Now come back to one aspect. I showed that this tally which you are using it for a educational purpose. What is the limitation in it? Here you are limited to use only the few dates, not all the dates. Let me show an example. I'll come to the day book. Okay, I press F2. I want to see the transaction in some other date. I press F2. I press 4.4. Okay, I press 4.4. I'm entering it. I will not be able to enter it. The reason is what I'm using is the educational version, which means it's not a licensed version. It is for the learning purpose. Please note, for you this software is enough to practice time, entire time. You don't need to have a licensed software because licensed software will cost you and it's not required also. Companies will buy a licensed software and they'll use it. For you, it's a training purpose. This educational version is fine. So that is 4.4. Date I cannot use it. I will not be able to enter because I can enter first, second date and 31st date. Not any other date between I cannot enter. See, for example, 5.5 I cannot enter. But instead, I can say 1.5. First of every month I can enter. 1.5, which is what? May month. I can enter. There is no transaction, that's why I am not able to get it. Otherwise, I can enter it. Okay. So, because this is very much important because there will be some examples in your book which says that 12.4, 12th April. So, then you will try to make entry in 12th April. Okay. You have 12 and you will try to make 12 April. Then if you keep entering it, you will not be able to go to the next screen. Then you might think this tally stopped working. It's not so. It's a restriction in tally for the educational purpose, which means that you have to use only the first date, second date of any month or 31st of any month. April you cannot give 31st, maybe May you can give 31st. Say example, I give 31.5, 31.5, I will be able to enter. Here I am able to see, you are able to see. Okay, so this is the limitation in the education version and this is sufficient for you to learn and complete the tally course. It's a limitation, it's auto not for you. Okay, so what do? So whatever transaction which is not a first date, which is not a second date, you put it in the first date, as simple as this. Because our aim is to learn. Good to go? Fine. If you understood this concept, can you just type EV in your chat box? EV, education version. Education version, date restriction. Good to go? Type EV in your chat box. Fine. So now we'll make another one transaction and say, okay, now what do? We have a 1 lakh in our bank account, or 1 lakh in our cash account, and we want to make advance for the office. Advance for the office. Advance is what? Is it a expenses or is it an asset? Advance is an expenses or an asset? Advance amount is returnable. Okay. It is a returnable. It is a returnable thing. That means it is a asset. Okay. So what is the transaction I have to do? It is a payment. That is I'm making advance. Fine. So I go to vouchers. I select the date 1st of May. Okay. I select the date 1st of May. So by default, what is the date is available? 31st May is available. Okay. So I change the date. How do I change the date? In the transaction, press F2. Please note it. Press F2. And it's also available in the right screen. Some of the shortcuts is not available in the screen. Most of the shortcuts are available in the screens. Here I want to change the date. So what is the date? That is 1st of May. I am making an advance for my office, for this company office. 1.5. Okay. So here what? It is a payment. It is not a receipt. So how do you choose a payment? The right hand, are you able to see it? Payment. F5. Please note that use shortcut keys. Do not use mouse. Mouse is easy for you, but try to use shortcut keys so that you will be able to enter quickly. I press F5. Payment. Okay. So payment is for what? For an advance, office advance. Okay. So office advance, the ledger is available? No, it is not there. So I have to create it. How do I create it? Gateway of Tally, ledger. The other method is secondary creation. From transaction you can create it. From the transaction, at the time of entry you can create a ledger. How do you create it? Alt, press Alt C. Please note it. So I am in this part, debit. Here it is not Kumar capital. I have to create a advance, correct? Alt C, okay. Office advance. Office advance. Can anyone tell me it will come which group? Office advance. Advance is a returnable amount. See, what is a returnable means? When I vacate the office, the owner will pay back me the amount. No, it is for the caution deposit only is holding it. So what I can choose is the relevant group is loans and advances. Are you able to see? Loans and advances. Fine. Okay. So what is the shortcut key to store any screen? Control A. So I am making advance of 25,000 or otherwise 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees is an advance. Advance I am making in terms of what? Cash. Good to go? Enter. Then here I am putting a narration. Narration is what? Some additional information about the transaction or describes the transaction. Advance for the office given to Lakshman. Fine. Enter. So now I put 2 transaction. Now we will go and see what is my balance sheet. I go to balance sheet. Are you able to see it? Kumar Capital. Cash balance I have 50,000 rupees and in advance 50,000 rupees, which is with the Lakshman. Okay. Now are you able to relate it? Whatever you've done in your paper and in your accounting books, if it is done in a system, I don't need to post it. The journal entries, normally what happens? All voucher entries you will post it to ledger books, then ledger books you will prepare a balance sheet. Here it is not like that. You just make an entry, all the books, all the final reports is automatically created. So this is the power of accounting software. Good to go? So it's enough for today. So we will see same time 7 o'clock tomorrow with much more example and features. If you have any queries, the floor is open. Students, if you have any queries, you can put it in the chat box. And do not forget to enter your attendance. It's again shared in the chat box. Please click the link and fill up your attendance. So far, how was the class? Can you give your feedback? Good or okay? You understood?